Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. The purpose of this video is twofold. We're going to be learning how to paint non-metallic metal, specifically gold, and also learn how to do the Celestial Lions chapter colours scheme. So without further ado, let's get started. I base coat all of the armoured elements that will eventually be gold with using dried bark. This colour will make up the shadows eventually and will provide us with a nice deep, dark, rich shadow. After getting a good base coat on the armour, I'm going to be using Vallejo Game Colour Black to block in the elements of the miniature that will be silvers and blues later on. Doing this now will also make it easier to see what we're doing with the non-metallic metal, as we'll have a cleaner surface to work with, which is super important as we want to fully concentrate on the new technique we're trying and do not want to put up any unnecessary barriers which may deter us from progressing. Now I want to start brightening up the tones, adding in the lighter Vallejo heavy brown to our dried bark and then using it pure. These steps will bridge the gap between our shadows and reflections, keeping transitions smooth. Next I'm going to start bringing in the yellow tones using Vallejo Heavy Gold Brown. Bringing in the yellow tones will start to get us much closer to gold than brown. The main things we need to keep in mind when painting non-metallic metals are that creating contrast and painting by volumes are crucial concepts. Now we want to start really boosting the contrast even further by adding in Vallejo Game Colour White to the Vallejo Heavy Gold Brown that we were using previously. This is really going to start boosting contrast and make it seem far more reflective than if we did a much more gradual transition. Make sure to target this in the centre sort of volumes of everywhere else that you've painted previously, and also hit every edge with this and the final highlight colour. It really helps sell the effect of it being non-metallic metal. Just to jump in for a second here guys, if you're all enjoying the video, please hit that like button and please consider subscribing to the channel. Each and every single one of you that joins this community means the absolute world to me, and I really enjoy seeing where we're going together and what sort of topics we can cover and conversations we can have. Thank you guys, and let's get back to the video. Now I'm going to go back and produce intermediate layers between the colours previously used to blend the transitions to slightly soften the transitions between the darker and lighter colours. We don't want to do this too extensively, as to create the non-metallic metal effect we need it to be very sharp contrast between dark and bright. However, we don't want to see the lines around, we do want them to blend together. With all of the transitions now successfully smoothed off, we're going to be moving on to finishing the gold armour. The last step that we need to do this is edge highlighting and final highlights with Vallejo Game Colour White. We'll be using this to edge highlight every single edge that is on the gold armour. This will really create a sort of shiny effect for the metal, as well as doing a central highlight down any of the highlights we've been working up before. For example, here on the side of the leg we've got the highlight of the previous colour. We'll be doing a central line down there as well. With the edge highlighting finished, that completes the non-metallic metal gold armour. I feel that there are elements that I got really well, like the backpack, the arms, mainly the upper body, but there are definitely areas that I can improve upon here, like the legs specifically. I feel that the way I've highlighted them doesn't represent it perfectly. However, with that being said, we're now on to the second part of the video, where we'll be moving on to how I turned this non-metallic metal gold armoured marine into a celestial lion. So first we start off with a mix of Games Workshop's Cantor Blue and Vallejo Game Colour Black. I'm then going to move on to applying pure Cantor Blue. After the Cantor Blue's down, we're going to boost the sort of hue, we're really going to start to move towards brighter colours now, so we're going to put down a smaller layer of stegen green from Citadel. This is going to move the dark blue to a more turquoise area, which is specifically what we're trying to achieve. With the stegen scale green done, we're now going to be moving on to Sotek green. This will move us again more in the turquoise direction, but also really start to brighten it up, and will be our sort of final layer colour before we start getting to the highlights. The final colour that we'll be using on the last bits of the armour for the Celestial line is Temple Guard Blue. This is going to be for edge highlighting and creating extremer highlights on something, for example, like the forehead or the top of the face grill. This will really make the details pop on the miniature, as well as really cap off that nice sort of blue texture that we've developed on there. And with that step done, I went ahead and got the rest of the miniature painted up in techniques that I will be covering from future videos, for example non-metallic metal silvers, as well as how to paint leather pouches, which I believe I am aiming to have my next video on, is how to paint leather for miniatures. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button. Every single like really helps the channel. If you're really enjoying the content, then please feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with when I'm uploading videos. And the last thing to do is please comment down below if you enjoyed the video. If you prefer, specifically, I'd love to know if you'd prefer true metallic metals or non-metallic metals and your reasons for why. So once again, thank you for watching, guys, and see you in the next video.